What do I know? I'm just a girl on the internet. What do we think is more chaotic? The fact that I have a matcha on all white furniture, white carpeting, everything's nice and clean and white? Or is it the fact that I have a matcha sitting in between very expensive camera and recording equipment on this very flimsy table, and I am very clumsy? Asking for a friend, I don't know. I want a little caffeine, so I made a matcha. I wanted a little caffeine, so I made myself a little fun green drink, okay? Not with green juice, a little fun green drink. Matcha. You really need to get on this if you haven't yet. Oh my gosh. Happy New Year. Girl on the internet listeners, happy 2025. Am I going to be wearing this the entire time? Absolutely not. Am I doing it for the intro bit? Absolutely. If you don't know what I'm wearing, might I suggest that you pop on over to the YouTube channel, Kayla Nelson, and you get a good glimpse at what I'm wearing to celebrate 2025. Hint, I'm naked. No, I'm just kidding. Fully clothed. There are so many words I could use to describe 2024, and I don't even feel like if I listed them all, it would really truly encapsulate like how this year actually felt, this past year. And as some of you noticed, some of you that follow me a little bit closer on social media, I took a massive break. Had a whole thing in the spring with my mom, and then I felt ready to come back to social media and back to work and my other jobs outside of social media. And then I was like, whoa, this is like a lot. I'm jumping in head first. I don't feel great, like mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, whatever. So I kind of went back and did a little bit more hiding, a little bit more hiatus. I was able to kind of put out a few videos or a few podcast episodes, but I just wasn't feeling like myself. And I was like, you know what? I love this so much and I love what I do. Is social media my only job, my only source of income? No, this is just kind of this part-time gig that I have that I love with my whole heart and soul. I never want to put out like shitty content. Like I never want to just pump things out just to have a weekly video or just to have something uploaded for you guys to watch. Maybe some of you think differently and you just like to watch things regardless of the quality. But for me, I'm like, I want to be all in. I want to feel good about what I'm posting, what I'm saying, like what I'm doing. And I had recorded, I think like maybe two or three podcast episodes. And I was rewatching the footage and I'm just like, I am so mentally just not there. And I decided to just scrap those episodes. You guys wouldn't have enjoyed it. So just trust me on that. But we're back. We're doing better. So much has happened. There's just been, my life is just, I can't even get into it right now. It will have to be another episode. I am not completely healed, nor do I want to be, but there has been a lot of growth, a lot of change, a lot of positivity in my life. I am feeling just really, really good. There are definitely a lot of sources to that happiness, but there has definitely been just this massive shift in the last few months in my creative spark, my personality, my mental health, like physically how I'm feeling. Just lots of change and lots of good change. So we will dive into that at a later point, maybe another episode. We have a lot to catch up on. I'm not going to make this episode like 6 hours long. So we will eventually chat about it. But more importantly, how are you? I missed you guys so much. If you are listening right now, whether this be through audio only or video, if there's an opportunity to leave a comment, whether that be through Spotify or on YouTube, please leave a comment. Let me know your favorite thing that happened to you in 2024. Let me know how you've been feeling and maybe something that you're looking forward to in 2025. I just want to hear from you guys. That is definitely the one tricky part about not uploading consistently is I get so used to seeing you guys' faces, your usernames, like different things like that. And to not interact with you guys for so long is just like, oh, breaks my heart. So don't be afraid to shout something out. I want to know how everyone's doing. I hope everyone is happy, healthy, and well. And we are getting into the new year on a good foot. With that being said, let's get into the episode. Believe it or not, that thing was so itchy on my head. Very glad I decided that I was not going to wear that the entire episode because I would look like dog scratching fleas by the end. So that's done. The New Year vibes are still here. Okay, this is still a New Year's themed episode because not only is it my first episode back in a long time, so what I have here for you today is my Kayla's 2025 ins and outs. I'm bringing as much good energy as I can to this episode, okay? Number one, I'm wearing smiley face socks. Can you see that? If you're into feet, just like don't look. You can't see my foot, but you can see my sock. I'm wearing smiley face socks. And if that doesn't say something, then I don't know what does, because smiley face socks or anything smiley face like immediately will put you in a good mood. So we've got that going for us. We've got a homemade matcha. If you guys remember from all my other episodes, because it's been like 8 years since I've uploaded, beverage of the day, beverage of the pod, homemade matcha, talked about it, delicious. The other good vibes that I'm bringing into today's episode is just how productive I've been today. You guys know me, I'm not into like grind culture. I'm not into hustle, like 24/7 productivity, but I did have a very productive morning. And honestly, my body woke me up at like 7:30 before an alarm, before anything like that. And I was so confused because I've always been the person that if I don't set an alarm, I can sleep till 3 p.m. Like easy. I love sleep. I love lounging. I love hanging. I love napping. I love having a little siesta. And the last few days, my body's been waking me up very early, and I'm not mad about it because I do love being up early. I just hate the process of it. You know what I'm saying? So it's been like a really good day. I'm like in a good mood. The only thing that happened today, which I'm not thrilled about, but it's like not a big deal. There are worse things in the world. Kim, there's people that are dying. I was making my breakfast. I was having eggs and I was having some yogurt, and I was getting my little yogurt bowl together. I had a little Target bowl. It's nothing special, just like a regular bowl. I got that out. I was getting like all my ingredients out to make my yogurt. So I had like yogurt, blueberries, some different like seeds and nuts. I had my eggs going on the stove. I'm feeling great, sipping my little coffee. And I noticed like a little bit of dried food just kind of left over on the bowl. So I was like, well, let me just grab a towel and just like wipe that. And when I have fake nails on, which I do right now, like fake little press-on nails, sometimes I like forget how to use my hands. Like I like forget what it's like to have 10 fingers and 2 hands. And so I went to grab the bowl and it kind of like slipped, right? I had the towel in one hand, I had the bowl, and it kind of slipped and I like caught it against my body and I was like, oh, whew, that would have been bad. And moments later, like nanoseconds later, I get the bowl back up because I had caught it into myself. I grab the towel and I'm like wiping it and then just bam, slipped right out of my hand, hit the floor, cracked, broke into a million pieces. And I'm like, I actually leaned on the countertop like this, crossed my arms, and I actually needed a full 45 seconds to process what had just happened because I was like, oh, I almost dropped it. Said it out loud, and then moments later, literally dropped it. Literally slipped. It slipped. When I tell you this was like a freaking cartoon character on a banana peel, this sucker slipped out of my hand. It was crazy. It slipped, and then it made the most dramatic movie-esque sound effect break you've ever heard. You know, in movies when like a window breaks or something and it's the most dramatic sound and it's just like, ugh. On top of that, I said I was bringing good energy to this episode, and now I'm telling you all the bad things that have happened today, but this just goes to show you that you can have bad things happen in part of your day and your day can absolutely turn around. So after the broken bowl situation, I had been settled, ate my breakfast, I was doing some work, I was getting some things done, feeling very, very productive. I was doing my dishes a little bit. I go to sit down on my couch to just have a chill moment. And what happens? The fire alarm goes off. Yup. Like the entire apartment complex, fire alarm blaring at the loudest possible decibel possible, which fair, because if there's a fire, I do want to be aware of that and not accidentally sleep through it or not hear it or something crazy like that. So what does Daphne do other than be like, I'm out of here, actually. This is so loud, I can't do it. So she goes under my bed, and I have storage bins under my bed, into which she likes to wedge herself between the storage bins because it's like comforting for her and she likes to hide back there sometimes. I'm talking about you. Come on, the people want to see you. Don't show your butthole on camera, girl. She knows I'm talking about her. Daph says hi and Happy New Year, everybody. So mind you, little Daphne, she decides, oh, it's too loud out here. I'm overstimulated. There's flashing lights. I am absolutely going under the bed and hiding. So me, I'm like, I don't play around with like fire drills or fire alarms or whatever. I'm in an apartment, whatever. I don't know. Like it could have been real. And the one time I would like not escape my apartment would be the time that was real. So I was like, okay, like frantically, like, what do I got to do? And I grabbed her cat carrier that was in my closet, which I only ever use to take her to the vet or something. And she hates that thing. I have to like crawl under, like partially crawl under my bed, like dislocate my shoulder to get my arm in there. I have to like, I hated this, but I had to like literally like scoop her and grab her closer to me because she was just not willingly coming toward me, which is fair. It was very loud, very unsettling. I have to like scoop her in my carrier. I throw a big blanket over the carrier because I'm like, maybe that will help muffle the sound. Maybe that will like make it not be as loud for her, whatever. So I'm like running down the stairs to get outside the apartment complex and to make it outside, I guess like a distance enough away from the apartment complex if it was burning down. And Daphne is just full send. Wow. 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 Oh, girl, you would have thought I had been abusing this poor cat. Now she was scared and anxious. And I get it. I also scream and cry when I'm anxious and scared. Same. You're just like, Stormy, you're just like mommy, baby. All of that to say, I was surrounded by nothing but dog owners outside, and I had Daphne covered in her carrier because A, it was cold, B, the sound was so loud, C, I didn't want her to like see a bunch of stuff and get like overwhelmed. And then also D, I was like, if there's dogs, I don't want people that have dogs to see a cat in a carrier and want to like attack me or her or anything like that. So I'm like walking down the stairs, like holding the carrier like this, not even by the handle. I've got the blanket over it. And I just walk outside and she's just wailing. And mind you, today it was like 35 degrees and it's been pissing rain all day. All right. It has been pissing rain. Obviously grateful that nothing was wrong. Nothing happened. It was just like a malfunction or something. But this poor cat was traumatized. When I brought her back inside, I just like opened the carrier and let her crawl under my bed and just let her, disassociate for a while. Same. But I thought of that because I can hear the bird TV on in the living room right now. That's the only thing that calms her down. She's now an iPad baby, even though it's on the TV. Bird TV, cat TV, look into it if you have a cat or a dog. Daph is obsessed. She loves it. It's like a live 4K camera that someone has set up like in the woods. And it's like squirrels and birds and different little woodland creatures snacking on nuts, seeds, leaves. It's adorable. I also get sucked into it sometimes, but she loves it. And it calmed her down. It was really great, but it's still going out there. So if you hear birds chirping and stuff, no, you don't actually. Hey, so could y'all tell I missed talking to a camera? I just talked like rapid fire, like a million miles an hour just then. Listen, I am just a girl on the internet who has her major in yapology and a minor in TMI, okay? She shares too much. Actually, I'd like to say something for the record, and then I'm going to get on to the topic of this episode. When people are like, oh my God, this is TMI, like this is so embarrassing, I just want to like preface like on the internet, in real life, wherever, in anyone I've ever encountered ever, TMI does not exist to me. Okay, there is no such thing as too much information. Genuinely, you can tell me about that pimple on your butt. Fine with me. You want to tell me about your sex life? That's cool. You want to tell me about this like booger that you found in your nose the other day? Okay. You want to tell me an embarrassing story, a cool story, a funny story? I'm all ears, baby. TMI to me stands for tell me immediately. Actually, we're changing TMI in 2025 to tell me immediately instead of too much information. Let's talk 2025 ins and outs. Starting out for my first in of 2025 is just dressing up nice when you feel like it. But lately for me, even at like the end of 2024, I just started really playing with my wardrobe and my style a little bit more and just really having fun with style and dressing up. And it's, it's like, hey, if we're going out to lunch with a friend or dinner, it's like, why not dress up? Like, why do I need to wear leggings and a hoodie everywhere I go? Okay, it's comfy. You got me there. But it's like, why not dress up? I feel like even for the podcast, I kind of want to start elevating my style a little bit. Nothing wrong with being comfy and casual, but I think dressing up can be really fun. Similarly, on that note, an out for 2025 that I have is impulse buying and just giving into trends. This is something I personally started working on a little bit last year, is really chilling out on the impulse buy. I think it's so easy now that we have social media, we have all of this like, rapid fire information all the time. And then we have apps on our phones, Amazon, free 2-day delivery. And I feel like that instant gratification and just having something at your fingertips really takes away from the satisfaction of it. So for me, it's more like think about it, maybe let it sit in the cart for a few days, then decide. Just making sure I have things that maybe can withstand the test of time instead of just giving into micro trends. So not only is this going to be an in for my list, but it's an in for your list too. It's mandatory. I don't make the rules. Sorry. So get out a pen, write this down. In 2025, we are celebrating small wins. There have been so many moments in my life that I've reflected on where it's been these big celebrations and these big things and going away parties and drinks and dinners and celebrations when people hit these really, really big milestones. And that's typical, right? You buy a house, you get a job, you get a promotion, you're pregnant, you engagement, whatever. I get that. I think we should always celebrate those big life moments. But I always feel for the people that have these small wins in life and these small things to celebrate that they don't get the chance to. Whether you celebrate on your own, by yourself, in your room, dinner for yourself, coffee for yourself, or if you have a few people over. In my opinion, I feel like the small wins in life are the ones that define us the most, because those big milestones, those big celebratory things only happen once in a while, if at all. You know, some people don't buy houses or get married or have kids or whatever, but we are constantly doing these little things every single day that I think deserve to be celebrated and appreciated. It also makes me think of people who are chronically single and who don't get a lot of attention for not being in a relationship, not getting engaged, not getting married, not getting pregnant. It's like there needs to be some kind of system for people that are just average Joes and they don't have a ton going on, but when something cool happens, they get the chance to celebrate that. So we're celebrating small wins in 2025 for whatever that looks like for you, for your friends, just acknowledging it for you and for your friends. This kind of goes without saying, but I will touch on it very quickly. But hustle culture and grind culture and sleep when you're dead, it's all just exhausting. And I think in a way, I hate like relating everything to the passing of my mom, but I've learned so much from that. And there's just a lot to process in that. To see this like healthy, young, bright woman just be done with her life at the age of 69 just makes me think, what's the point of hustling 24/7? What is the point of just grinding and working every day and not using your PTO and not traveling and not doing the things that you love? I'm not saying blow every penny you have. I'm not saying fuck work and like quit your job and whatever. Obviously, people have financial responsibilities. Obviously, some people are better off than other people. I think you guys can hopefully correlate to what I'm saying. But this idea of I have to be productive 24/7. I have to be working. I have to be doing something. Like I have to work overtime every single day or my boss is going to kill me or I have to do it's just like, have you ever thought about slowing down for like 5 seconds? Like honestly, and that used to be me. I was a big like hustle, go person. And then it's just the more I am reflecting on life, I'm like, you know what? The world's going to keep spinning if I don't do all this work. It will really be okay. It will really be okay. And the other thing to really think about is, and this is morbid, kind of, but it's true. The truth about hustle culture and grind culture is no matter how hard you work at your job, your entrepreneurship, working up the career ladder, making money moves, whatever, is if something were to happen to you, you quit, you die, you get sick, whatever, someone, steps in front of you on the career ladder and makes a better move or whatever, you're irreplaceable. You are. You know where you're not replaceable? In your everyday life. You're not replaceable to your children or to your significant other or to your siblings or to your nieces and nephews or to your pet. But you are replaceable in a work field. It doesn't mean don't try hard at your job and work hard and do those things. I love my jobs. Multiple jobs. I love what I do, but I also remember I'm a human being and I'm put on this earth to enjoy things. Also, I'm not meant to work 24/7. I'm not meant to be, stuck in this like grind all the time. It's like I have to live a little. So I choose to do that. And I think that is just definitely something that needs to be incorporated into 2025. And maybe that's something that you're working on, but highly encourage that. So we're not forcing productivity 24/7. That's out for 2025. The next in that I have for 2025 is that we are unfollowing and unfriending people that just do not serve us. If there are celebrities, if there's influencers, if there's people you're following and you scroll and you feel bad about yourself, if you don't like what they're posting, if it just feels like it's leading you to overconsumption or consumerism or just negativity or making you feel any kind of way other than inspired or happy or make you laugh or make you feel good, bye. Good riddance. I have a whole episode on this pod, very early episode called Unfollow, Block, and Delete, I think. You can curate your feed. I mean, ads are one thing, but you can curate your feed. So get rid of what you don't want to see. I wrote an out is apologizing unnecessarily. Good to know. I think I'd like to add to that too is just over explaining myself. I can give an opinion. I can say what I want, whether that be on the internet or to friends or family, and not have to over explain myself. If you want to take my answer, my opinion, my explanation and twist it and think that I'm a bitch or that I'm rude or that I'm mean or that I'm hateful or one-sided, that's your opinion. That's your thought. I can't change that. If I want to share something, it's because I mean it or because I feel that in my heart or I feel it however, and I shouldn't have to over explain that. I should just be able to like, hey, this is my opinion and that's it. So with that, we're not going to apologize unless it's absolutely necessary, which this is something I've been working on, but we are really overly apologizing is out in 2025. I'm not saying sorry because you ran into me. What the hell is that about? Another in is that we are prioritizing friendships. Okay. Again, a lot of life lessons learned in 2024, but just really valuing the friendships that you have. Relationships can come and go. You have a relationship with maybe like parents or family members or caregivers, but friendships are just, there is something just so beautiful about friendships. I did so many fun things with my friends in 2024 toward the end. Craft nights, birthday parties, outings, wine nights, galentines. There were so many fun moments with my girlfriends in the last few months. And it healed my soul. It healed my inner child for wanting that desperate need to have girlfriends and friendships. And it also just is such a beautiful thing. Friendships are just so, so, so beautiful. And if you are a guy listening to this and you're like, guys don't do that. No, you totally can. I think you can totally prioritize your friendship. When's the last time you like wrote your friend a card and just sent a card in the mail? When's the last time you sent them a cute little gift box in the mail? When's the last time you just texted them and said like, hey, thinking about you. Just want to say I'm glad you're in my life. Like you're the best, whatever. When's the last time you texted one of your friends an old photo of you guys and you're like, hey, remember this? Like when we went ice skating, we did this fun thing. Like that was so fun. Like would love to catch up again. Friendships make the world go round, guys. Appreciate your friends. Send them love. And we are prioritizing them in 2025. This one is heavy on the explanation points. But an out for me for 2025 is being late and constantly rushing. I hate being late. It's terrible. It's one of my worst traits. And I will say maybe like 3 out of 5 times I'm late. And by late, I mean I'm either showing up right on the dot or like 2 or 3 minutes after I'm supposed to. I'm never more than 5 minutes late anywhere. But that's still no excuse. I feel like if you're on time, you're late. Is that weird? Is that just me? I feel like I want to start arriving to places earlier, whether that be appointments or, meeting up with friends or whatever. Because it's like you got to find parking and you got to go do this and da. But for me, it's like I am so notorious for like, okay, if I have to like leave my apartment by 6 a.m., I'm waking up at like 5:45. Hey, that's not good. Hey, so that's actually terrible. 15 minutes to brush my teeth, do my skincare, clean my face, eat something. Like that's just, I'm constantly rushing. I want to find the beauty in getting up earlier and having like a nice slow routine and like taking my time for things. Doesn't mean that has to happen every day, but it's like, God, I hate when I'm like rushing out the door and I'm like, blah, 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 and I forget everything and I'm frazzled and I just feel like stressed. And then it's like, I'm like rushing to work and I'm speeding and it's like a whole thing. So I am going to really work on that this year because rushing, that's out. Not doing that. And in is that I am just going to take more photos and videos unapologetically. I've always clearly had a camera or a phone in my hand or something to capture memories or take pictures or whatever, candids of people. But I want to really do it this year where it's like, I just whip my phone out and I take a picture of my friend or whoever or of a moment. And it's like, not just like, oh, I got to post it on Instagram and it's got to be cool and it's going to be aesthetic. It's like, what if I just want like a photo of a moment or like of someone laughing or whatever? I think back to a lot of the photos I looked at of my mom after she passed and we were going through all her belongings and her photos and VHS tapes and things. My mom would just take her camcorder and just be like panning the outside of the house in like spring and be like, all right, it is, 68 degrees. It's sunny today. These are my flowers. This is this, like just kind of narrating life a little bit, which I guess is kind of what social media is a little bit, but less for like production and more for like memory, I want to say. And then also looking through so many printed film photos, my parents were taking photos of like everything and anything. Like you take a photo of somebody, or it doesn't always have to be a posed photo for an Instagram picture or whatever. It's like, what about just getting your phone out and just being like a proud grandma, just like snapping photos of like what's happening in the moment? That's like my big in for this year, is just getting little video clips and photos for memories, and yes, for social media to do vlogs and stuff, but also just to like have that as a keepsake, because that's just such a beautiful thing. Oh, out over planning. Do not overcommit yourself. You do not have to have a totally full schedule and routine and weekend. If it's your only weekend off for the month where you have nothing to do, you don't have to commit that to hanging out with friends. You actually don't have to commit that to volunteering your time. If you need like one Saturday to rot and do nothing, do it, girl. Ooh, this one I love so much. Again, it was introduced in 2024 and I want to continue it into 2025, is picking out a hobby, a craft, an activity, something that is not work related. It's not going to make me money. It's not going to benefit me really in any way other than therapeutically. Just something that heals that inner child in you, whether that be drawing, painting, crocheting. Recently, I've gotten into doing little polymer clay, little pieces, little magnets, if you will. I had a little birthday party night with my girlfriends, and we had pasta and wine, and we made little polymer clay magnets, and it was so fun. As a kid, I was just so dang crafty, and I know I got that from my mom. There would be multiple days where it would be, rainy or whatever outside, and I would just get a bunch of printer paper and color pencils and crayons and just draw for hours and hours and hours. Coloring, drawing, making little comic books, making little, anything. I was just so creative as a child, and even I didn't care if it looked good. I didn't care if it looked perfect. I just enjoyed it, and I really want to bring that back. Like, whether I, again, crochet or do whatever craft it is, I want to just do it and enjoy it and let it just be. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. It just has to be something that brings me joy and is fun and sparks that kind of creative, artsy part of my brain. You guys know I already kind of preach this and I do my best, but out is negative self-talk. It's 2025 if we're still doing that. Gots to go. We're not doing that in 2025. One of my outs for 2025 that I actually was surprised that I thought of, but I'm actually very happy, is just we're going to stop overly curating things. That is out for 2025. Whether this be my Instagram feed, my outfits. My outfits will plan a little bit. I just am kind of sick of everything being like perfect and organized and like trying to do the best of everything all the time. Having a perfectly clean apartment, having things just be so overly curated. It's like, hey, how about to me, it's like I want to live life a little bit. I want things to be messy and not normal and not perfect. And I don't have to have a perfect Instagram feed or a perfect cohesive outfit or my hair has to be perfect every single time. It's like, it's just so not human. And I think being on social media for so long and following so many people, we constantly are seeing this perfectly curated, crafted life where people are waking up, good morning routine, and their hair is perfect. And it's just so not realistic. It's so not fun. It just makes us seem like robots, honestly. And in a world where quite literally we are advancing with like robot technology and AI, now more than ever, I think it's important to just be yourself. Cheesy, but seriously, be yourself and like not overly curate everything. Even like down to dates with the significant other or a gift. Like, meaningful crafted gifts or meaningful thoughtful gifts go so much further than like a super curated, expensive, specific gift that you get somebody. You know what I mean? Another in for 2025 is long form content, kind of plugging myself a little bit here, just saying like, hey, watch the YouTube videos, watch the podcasts. Like, we are just so addicted to short form and our attention spans are just dying. I'm not deleting TikTok unless the government does or whatever. Like, I'm still going to watch short clips and stuff because it's fun, but I love sitting down and watching a YouTube video. Like, I need to find some new comfort creators and just really enjoy, and also like the time, the energy, the art that goes into making YouTube videos is so fun. So long form content is in for 2025. Out for 2025, toxic positivity. Okay. This I'd like to say is people that undermine you for things that are happening in your life or make it seem like it's not that bad, or maybe you're doing it or you're telling people that. So for example, the reason this is on my list is because when my mom died, there was a lot of toxic positivity. It's like they're trying to be nice, but it comes off really twisted and like not great. So my mom dies. People are like, oh, well, that was God's plan. Oh, it was meant to be. Well, at least you still have your dad. Well, at least you got to say goodbye to her. Well, at least you got 28 years with your mom. Oh, but she loved you. Oh, but she'll be proud of you. No, but you're going to be okay. grief is okay. You're going to get through it. You'll be fine. You'll be okay. It'll be fine. That's toxic positivity, or at least that's my definition of it. I could be wrong. But it's one thing to help somebody through that sort of thought, or like, hey, I didn't get the job. Hey, I didn't get that job that I was dying to get and I worked my ass off for with the resume, the cover letter, and the 4 rounds of interviews. That's okay. One door closes, another one opens. You're fine. You're good. Just move on. Just go apply for another job. It's actually okay to be like, hey, that really sucks. I'm sorry. Like, how can I support you in this? Or, do you want to vent about it? Do you want to talk about it? Is there anything I can do for you or for this situation? Like, what can I help with? Versus, no, that sucks. And I get it. Death is a whole other topic in itself. And a lot of people don't know what to say because they've never dealt with it. But people were turning normal phrases into these things that were just so diminishing and just felt awful. So if you feel like you're falling victim of that, of always saying, it's fine, or it's going to be okay, or it's going to be fine, or you're fine, it's good, like gaslighting yourself kind of, we're just like not doing that. If a friend comes to you with a problem and they say like, hey, I'm having this issue, this is happening, instead of being like, no, like it's okay, it's like for the better, it's like fine. Maybe try listening to them or encouraging them, asking them, what can I do to support you? What do you need from me? Do you want me to listen? Do you want advice? Do you want, to take a walk? Do we take a drive? Can I do anything for you to help you like with this task or, do you want whatever? See how you can help people and just listen versus just trying to be like putting a Band-Aid on it and saying, it's fine. It's okay. Because newsflash, sometimes things aren't okay and they're not fine. When my mom was sick and was quite literally transitioning to hospice and you don't come out of hospice alive, people are like, she's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Actually not. I'm going to stop you right there, partner. It's actually not going to be okay, but that is okay. Not everything is meant to be okay. You might not get into your dream school. That sucks. Will it be okay eventually? Yes. But is it okay in that moment? It's fine and you're good? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Another door might open, but it's okay to sit in that for a minute and be like, hey, actually, this sucks. I'm disappointed. I'm upset. And I want to be mad about it for a little bit. Let it happen and stop gaslighting people. And out for 2025 is notifications. Babe, we're turning notifications off. I keep my phone on Do Not Disturb most of the day. Best thing ever. Obviously, I have my emergency contacts and things if people text me and I need to respond. But I turned off badge notifications on all my apps like 2 years ago. Best thing ever. I cannot stand the app that has the little red number at the top of it. So that's called like the badge notification. You can still get the notifications from the top and whatever, but the badge icon, best thing ever, turning that off years ago. And then now my goal is just like notifications are out. We're turning those off. We're not dealing with it. I don't need to constantly be notified on Instagram when someone comments on something or someone likes something or constant email notifications and blah, blah, blah. Like you can set preferences when you get emails from certain people or whatever. But like same goes if you have a work and a personal phone, it's all wrapped into one. Like when your work day ends, you gotta stop answering work emails, like notifications off, live your life a little bit. And also the more notifications you get, the more like wrapped up you're going to be in your phone. If you leave your phone on Do Not Disturb for a long time and you swipe and your screen is empty, you're going to be like, oh, all right, well, I just get back to what I was doing because there's nothing here to distract me. My last in for 2025, or something that I could think of, is being a little bit more eco-friendly and nice to the environment and reducing the consumerism and just the overconsumption of everything. Most people know that TikTok and all these trendy Twitter and Instagram, everything is just, here's my 87-step skincare routine. Here's pack my Stanley with me while I go for a walk. And my Stanley water bottle has a purse and my purse has a purse. And I have 46 different travel lip balms. And okay, I have a couple lip balms in different drawers, but like, where do we draw the line? How about we think about everything that we own, maybe ending up in a landfill one day, and we just make a little bit nicer choices. Let's be a little bit more eco-friendly in 2025. Let's reuse jars and be creative and, buy secondhand and hand-me-down and all of that. Thrift, things like that. So that's definitely in for 2025, being more eco-friendly. Daph's in for 2025 is sitting in my lap more. And her out would be like not getting her nails trimmed. She'd be like, I work so hard on sharpening these. What are you doing? But what's one of your ins? Come here. Hi, buddy. It genuinely feels so good to be back, to sit here and have recorded an entire episode. I don't know if you could tell by the enthusiasm or just by how fast I was talking what's happening. Daff was like, I gotta get out of here. But I am so excited to be back. I am happy to kind of rekindle the flame of this podcast. I thank you guys for sticking around with me and hanging out and just being here through these multiple hiatuses and different chapters and peaks and valleys of my life. With that to say, you guys already know we got a random fun fact for you to wrap up the episode. And it's that, did you know sloths can actually hold their breath longer than dolphins? While dolphins can hold their breath for about 10 minutes, sloths can slow down their heart rate and hold their breath for up to 40 minutes underwater. I don't know who tested that. I don't know if someone put a sloth underwater and just like count it, or like, I don't know how that's accurate, but I got it off the internet, so it's 100% true. And with that, thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I appreciate you guys so much. Be sure to share this episode with people in your life that you want to see them just like improve and get better, and like share this with your girlfriends. Maybe you have like a little like wine night and this gives you some inspiration. You make a mood board or whatever. Here's to being the best version of yourself in 2025. Happiness, love, all the good things. And I'll see you guys next time with a new episode. Bye.